Welcome back to the show, everyone. Today's episode is one I wish existed when I first stepped out of the military. We're talking about your first company right out of separating or retiring from service. Whether you're an aviator, an intelligence analyst, a maintainer, or security forces, there's a place for you in this industry. And as always, I'm here with my co host.
And hello, everyone. My name is Vincent Lewis. And before we start, I would like to say thank you to everyone that started to follow us and who have liked and subscribed to our channel, uh, but and also like our With that being said, the truth is a lot of veterans are drawn to the drone industry because of the military and familiarity between it. Civilian side is some of the things where people thinking, "Hey, I can turn this into a business from what I know." For military, we spent a lot of years around aircraft, ISR platforms, surveillance missions, doing those jobs, and using a lot of tech that a lot of people don't realize we use on a regular basis. But in our case, knowing the tech doesn't mean you know how to run a drone business. There is a lot that goes into it, and there's some things that could blindside you if you don't really take the time to really dive deep into it.
Yeah, with all that being said, so today we're laying out the whole blueprint. We're talking business setup, FAA rules, equipment mistakes we learned the hard way, how to pick your niche, and how to avoid blowing through your savings before you even land that first client. This is the episode you're going to want to bookmark. Trust me.
Agreed. And we're going to be talking to two groups at the same time: beginners who have experience and things that they understand and know about drones. Also, we're going to talk to hobbyist side people who also know the area of how to build them and make them, but don't know the understanding of the drones business things. And we're also going to talk to DoD professionals and those who are working as contractors that may want to just step out on their own. They may understand operations, but you may not understand that there's a lot to the business side that you didn't take in consideration.
Yeah, so let's start with the transition part. Folks don't realize just how jarring it is going from a tight, structured military setup to being a one man business and trying to figure everything out. In uniform, there's always someone above you who has the answers. In business, yeah, that's not the case. You're that person and you got to figure it out on your own.
Agreed. And if you're a civilian, this might be easier, but for you because you've worked in the industry, you've worked for different types of business entities, um, and when it comes to military, this may be a little bit difficult because if you're just transitioning, going from being mission ready and then going to having to figure out how to Google how to form an LLC and figuring out what to network and how to network and learning what liabilities and business insurance you may need can be daunting, especially if you're just starting out from the beginning.
Yeah, so let's talk about some of the pitfalls. And the first pitfall for most military guys is thinking that that discipline that you acquired while in the military is going to help you. Well, discipline is great, but if you don't have an understanding of marketing, invoicing, branding, insurance, and all the different rules in business that you need to follow, then the business can fall apart before you even take off. I mean, don't let that scare you, but all of this stuff you can learn step by step, and that's what we're here for.
Agreed. There are several types of companies, and you need to figure out which one's going to work for you the best. First, choose a business entity like what we did. We chose a private multi partner LLC. And you have other entities such as S Corp, C Corp, sole proprietor, and other partnership types and as options. Most drone startups would probably like to go with the LLC and start. It's flexible, affordable, it's easy to manage, and it covers a lot of your liabilities so that you don't have to worry about except putting your personal assets at risk, and it separates your personal assets from your business purposefully.
Yeah. So once you've decided which one of those avenues you're going to chase, the next thing you need to do is file for an EIN, basically your business's social security number. After that, open a business bank account. Seriously, we cannot iterate this enough. You do not want to mix personal money with business money. The IRS will ruin your day if you try and do this.
Agreed. And know that you don't have to pay someone to do this. So instead of paying LegalZoom $100 or having someone else pay to set up your EIN, you can do this yourself. You just take your entity that you set up, the one that you chose, go on the IRS website, use that to set up your EIN, And within 10 to 15 minutes, you can pretty much have that taken care of on your own without having to have any other outside requirements or people that do it. But like Josh said, I want to reiterate that too. A business account is separate from your personal assets. You do not want to use your business account to pay for your household expenses, because as soon as you start to pay your household expenses with your business account, you're opening yourself up to different liabilities that when you come down to the later state, if something happens with your business that you don't want to have happen. So keep that separate and ensure that you don't have that as a problem. And next, you need insurance. With that being said, you really need the insurance. Drone liability insurance is going to be required for most companies that hire you to do the work for them. There might be occasions where you don't have to worry about it. So if you're working for the city or for the federal government, there may be times that they will cover you and you don't have to worry about it, such as for the government. They will cover their equipment and cover you if you're on a government test site or things like that, but it may not cover everything. So having that extra liability insurance there to ensure that you are covered no matter what will help you out. Private companies won't hire you sometimes without it. Also, customers won't want to hire you if you don't have it. And then to the other side, protect your assets. If you have an aircraft, like you have a likeliness of possibly crashing, even if it's not your own at your own fault. But if your equipment gets broken, instead of being down and having to pay for that all out your pocket up front, the insurance can cover you and keep you safe and keep you from having to pay up millions or thousands of dollars out of your own pocket. And the cost of it is relatively cheap. One of the things we had is we had $1 million of drone insurance for $62, and that covered both of us, covers our assets, it covers everything. You can do something similar and get it maybe a little bit more expensive, maybe a little bit cheaper. It just depends on what the market rate is at the time. So protect yourself.
Yeah, like Vince just said, I mean, I can't iterate that enough either. Protect yourself, make sure you are covered. Something else you'll need is contracts lined up, things like service agreements, liability waivers, project scopes. And yeah, this is where a lot of vets like myself freeze because this legal paperwork, man, it looks like foreign language. But don't stress it. You don't have to write any of this from scratch. There are templates, there are lawyers, and there are mentors who have been there and done this and can help you out and get you down to where you need to be. So let's move over to the FAA side because this is where the rules actually matter. If you are planning on getting paid to fly, you have got to have your 107. Simple as that.
And let's be clear, just because you have your pilot's license, you still need to get your Part 107. And you may still have to have waivers to go with whatever you're doing. The FAA still needs you to pass your specific Part 107 test to be able to be good.
Yeah, the Part 107 isn't just questions on weather, regulations, crew resource management, emergency procedures, the whole package. So the test isn't impossible, but you do need to study to pass.
Agreed. And understand the test is there to just give you familiarity or to make sure you have a basic understanding, because when you get in operations, it's all on you. And also understand it may not cover everything that you need to know. There may be still things where you have to get a waiver and you have to understand where you're working. And those waivers sometimes can be a little bit strenuous and also take time. Um, some things have been integrated into the FAA rules to allow you to not have to worry about doing the waivers as much, such as they have some limitations and have alleviated some limitations, such as for night flights. Um, you want to be able to fly over people. There's some things there, and also beyond visual line of sight. There is waivers for it, or some liability things that you can do without having to, but you really want to make sure that there is not a requirement for a waiver for what you're doing. And there's such systems such as low altitude authorization and notification capabilities, or in short, LANCE. It may be able to cover you, but as many pilots know, you still need to do your research. And prior to flying in that area, know what you need to do and understand what your limitations may be, because you will possibly run into a place where you have to submit a waiver for flying. So this could keep you from flying areas that you are planning to do work for, and it could derail your operations, especially if it takes you 30 days to 6 months to get that waiver. So know ahead of time before you even go into a contract with a person. Know that you put that out there, like, hey, I have to still evaluate the airspace where you want me to fly to ensure that there isn't a waiver requirement, because it may be things that you don't see. So look at your air maps, look at everything that you have as resources, put it in and plug it in. If you have your local, if there's an airport near that area, talk with your local airport and FAA officials. There's someone in the States or in your area everywhere.
Yeah, so let's get into niches.
Oh,
This is where your business either really starts to grow or completely stalls out. If you're trying to do everything, mapping, real estate, inspections, weddings, agriculture, you're setting yourself up for failure if you're trying to do it all at once. You need to find an area and hone in on that.
agreed. Before we move on, I want to make sure that there's some clarity too. This isn't legal advice, but it's just something to let you know in regards to the FAA, the rules. Like in Ohio, they just put out regulation rules that state that if you negligently, purposefully do something that could be used, that you're using a drone for, that could lead to a $500 fine and jail time. So understand that you have hefty fines that you have to pay that will cause you to not have even the liability cover you. So make sure that you do those things before you get into it. But going back to what we were talking about, you have niche things that you could get into for expertise, and expertise creates money. A few of those things that you can get into, such as mapping, surveying, these help you with construction sites or help people at construction sites understand what they need to do. Utilities need those to understand where their power lines are, and thermal inspections, roofing, solar farms, public safety. Those areas cover a lot, and you could have a lot of open opportunities, and especially depending on where you are. Along the coast where there's hurricane areas, that mapping and thermal inspections are helpful. Emergency response is the next one. Inspected is another area that you may want to go into, because that also covers in those same places if you're especially on the coast or in areas where you have consistent natural events such as hurricanes or tornadoes, earthquakes, and incidents like that. Talking with your local police, fire, and search and rescue. If you're a trainer, this may be opportunity that you can go train people to fly and learn more about drones if you're in that area. Defense, there is ISR testing and support that you can do, counter UAS training, R&D, especially right now. And you have a lot of different grants and contracts that are coming up where the government are looking for people to come into that place and to support, especially on the small sUAS side that we were talking about now. That would be a big help. Agricultural areas, the analytics for say a farmer who needs something to know about what's going on with the growth of their farm or their crops and plants that they're putting out. So being able to fly a drone over to give them that data and seeing weekly growth for their plants could be helpful, especially if they have thousands of acre of land. They don't have to walk it, then they can have someone to go out and fly. If you created a drone that could be able to help them, and there's several drones out there to do that. Another one is that something that's big here in Ohio that I've seen is people actually being hired to use their drone to go find their deer that someone shot, and they're just trying to find where their game is, using the drone to go find it and look for where that location is. Or in this disaster, or not disaster response, but first responder response, using the drone to help find people who may be lost in the woods. And industrial inspections such as bridges, or looking at different pipes or tubs, or even like nuclear tests. Some, if you get the approval on that, looking to make sure that there's no cracks in the stacks and doing different things like that. So no, you have several different areas that you can go into, and literally, if you can dream it, there might be a use for a drone. So keep your eyes out and think about it.
Yeah, so when we launched L&H Advanced Technologies, we didn't try to be the we do everything company. We stuck with UAS, counter UAS, and defense focused stuff because that's where we had real experience. I always say play to your strengths and stick to what you know. That's where the wins come from. That's how you build your base.
Agreed. And now let's gear the talk, the fun part, especially for me, the part that typically drains your wallet, which is the components that go into it.
Yeah, and this is the biggest pitfall I see is buying way too much, way too fast. Look, we all love gear. We love having the every capability that there is, every backup, every gadget. But running a business isn't about the flashiest drones. It's about the drones that actually fits the needs of the mission.
Agreed. You can start with about $1,500 to $3,000 and buy a drone that will make you money straight out the door, such as a DJI Air 3 or a Mavic 3, a Matrice, 30, just depending on what you're looking for, you can pretty much find something that'll fit the niche for what someone's looking for. You know, Start with what matches your first service and not what looks the coolest, because those may not actually do what you need to, and or there's a learning curve into using it. Then once you have the cash and the time, you can go fly and you can start to advance in those areas that you're starting in.
Yeah, and I mean, as you're doing all of this and you're learning all these different things, your gear needs to grow with you, with your income. Um, if the drone you have isn't bringing in money yet, there is zero reason to go out and get another one. Be smart with your money. Then, once you have the cash and the time flying, you can start to advance in other areas. So, now we get to the part that everyone hates, finding your clients. This is one of the most difficult parts. And here's the real deal: your network is your first revenue stream, but you've got to know how to separate that personal relationship from that business professional relationship. If they say no, don't let it ruin a friendship. It's not personal, it's business.
Agreed. People underestimate how much trust they already have in their current communities that they are in. They may already have people that are there that can be able to support them. When you really think about it, you can reach out to former commanders, city officials, veteran owned businesses, construction firms, real estate companies, police, fire, and local governments. And, there's opportunities in all. Or you could even get your help from the start from like friends and family, such as I did. My first commercial flight for us was during a business for our first flight was with my wife's friend's wedding. I helped her to augment her photographer by coming in, taking pictures, also using the drone to take the pictures from outside and getting her some videotape for what she's doing for her wedding and the things she needed. And it allowed us to get some opportunity to get a chance to also get camera time using a camera, using the drone for actual professional side of it, and also getting the buildup of a portfolio so that now we have something that we can utilize to show other people things that we've done and also to build out opportunities for later.
Yeah, I mean, one of the better things that you can do when you're starting out is offer demo flights. That portfolio that he's discussing is very important. Film a free job if you have to. Like, build some trust with somebody. Once people can see the value, then they buy the value. So here's the playbook. First, pick one service to start with. Don't offer everything. Choose that niche, and then once you can explain in one sentence pitch to a potential client. Second, build a starter portfolio. Before anyone pays you, they want to see proof on what you can deliver. Do 2 to 3. If you need to, do some drone videos of your own house. Do some of your own roof, of a buddy's roof. Try to find some stuff. Do some land videos if that's what you're after. Edit the what you're doing. About 6 to 10 images and one short 30 to 60 second video. Show what you're capable of. Show that you have the capabilities that they're looking for. This becomes your proof.
Agreed. And understand, take your time to go out and fly. You would not realize how helpful just flying in your own time helps you to be able to do more as you go. Because the worst thing you could do is try to figure out what you need to do while you're learning how to fly during a job. So make sure you're getting that time out. And the more you do on your own to learn to be better will help you to do your job better. So in the third case, create a page. Offer more than just also a website. Have your LinkedIn, have your social media. Not just a website, but a website is important because you're going to have a lot of things they'll ask you for it. You don't need a fancy site yet. Just have something that's basic. You need something that clarifies what you do, and a simple PDF or a single page Canva, Google Doc with all your information of what you do, who it's for, three simple images that kind of provides what you can show that the customer needs, your starting price, your contact information, and your part 107 showing that you have it. So those things will help you to get what you need started. Think of it like a capability card for civilians, especially for military. We understand having a reliable card to kind of reference from is so helpful. And fourth, make a list of 25 people or businesses you already know and make those your first customers if possible. It also warms up your network to be able to not have to be talking to strangers, and it allows you to now understand what you can do. Write down friends, family, veterans served with, people at church, VFW, kids sports, realtors you may know he'll help you get your house, contractors, roofs, landscapers, the people who come in, you know local businesses where you go to on a regular basis. you know this allows you to not have to try to start from all from scratch. It allows you to get in the door and then build an ability to grow communicating with people what your capability of doing, and you're not begging, you're just offering a solution to something that they need.
Yeah, and this is one of the harder parts for me. Just like reaching out with that simple, direct message. Keep it short, keep it friendly, and keep it low pressure. Six, when they say maybe, offer a low risk job first. People don't fear drones, they fear wasting money. So make the first yes easy. First job is a small package, flat starter price. You'll get this number of photos and one short video. No contracts that you're doing. It's like, this is it. This is the small package we're offering.
Agree. Something as simple as we'll train one person for you, and from there, if you give us a contract for training the next two people, can offer an opportunity so that they can see your services while at the same time offering you the opportunity to get paid for your other work that comes afterwards. As another thing, show up like a pro. Just like for us in military, right place, right uniform, right time. As simple as that is in your business. Anything that you do, show your client that they can trust and know that you're going to be professional. Your first clients evaluates confidence and processes as much as they do the footage and the opportunity to get the data that they're looking for from it. This brings a simple pre-flight, like things that bring a simple pre-flight checklist so that you can knock out what you need to have so that you don't forget what you need. Just like having your PCCs and PCIs in the military, what we know of is you're doing your pre-combat checks and pre-combat evaluations of what you have so that you're not having to worry about you left the key component that you need to do for work. Make sure you have a clear timeline so that you're understanding when and where everything needs to fall in line so that people know that you're tracking what's going on. And if you get that from your customer, it'll allow you to now have a way to do what you need to. Work out the scope of work through text and email. So this covers both you and the customer, ensuring that they understand and you understand what you're providing and what they're needing. You know, Safe ops. Make sure that you have clean communication, a cell phone number, and if your cell phone isn't working, another alternate way to communicate with people. Be early. Just like in anything else, be on time, and being early is on time so that if you do need to change or you're having issues, that you are prepared and your customer understands it so they can adjust also. The more time they have means the more time you have to be able to show them that you're trustworthy. And then another one, um, deliver fast, clean, and slightly over deliver. The more that you deliver and the more that you can give allows the customer to have more confidence in what you're doing. If you promise 10 photos, give them 12. If you promise Friday, deliver on Thursday if you can possibly do it earlier, because then it allows them to get the information and things that they need earlier. That's how you turn a client into a repeatable business partner, and then also gives people that can get referrals and a testimonial from them that they can be able to help you build your company as you grow.
Yeah. So, and the next thing is don't be afraid to ask for testimonials, to referrals immediately. Don't wait weeks. Ask why they're still happy. Most people will help you if you ask clearly what you're looking for. And lastly, post that job everywhere without being annoying. Turn one client into momentum. Post 3 photos, a 10-second clip on Facebook, LinkedIn, IG. Uh, Tag that business with their permission, of course. Now, strangers start coming to you. The mindset piece, your first client isn't about perfection, it's about proof, trust, and repetition. And remember, you're not trying to build an empire on day one, you're trying to
Agreed.
get that first win, then stack another win.
Agreed. Another thing that you have to think about is marketing. Is where most drone companies go to die. You must be able to market and truly show what your capability are. You can be the best pilot, but if nobody knows it, you don't exist and you'll be broke. So start simple, clean website, a strong logo, and understand you can go to places such as, especially now, you got Google Gemini, you have ChatGPT, you have Claude, you have all the AI, you got Canva, you have resources that can help you create it if you just type it, and it'll create those documents and or create that logo that you need, that you can keep creating on top of videos. So use your resources you have. uh, Clear service lists. Make sure that you have what you are offering and make it as clear and precise as you possibly can. A professional email, add what you have as a base, and then add your contact information, your name, your position, what your company is, the contact info, such as your uh, phone number, and also contacts of other people or the things that's within your company. Also, adding in there a link to your website and LinkedIn would be also helpful. LinkedIn, I found, is a very helpful site. It can literally connect you with other people that are specific to your industry and specific to you. Google business listing, SEO. So you're optimizing it out so where if Google has it and they can see that your business is within a local area, that will allow you to get business that you weren't probably get ahead of time. So make sure that you put your listing for your website in a Google optimized account so that you can pretty much make sure that people will get there, and post your work. Show where your flights are, show your inspections. People hire what they see.
Yeah, so let's touch on some rapid fire mistakes that new drone founders make. Underpricing, buying too much gear out the gate, no insurance, no clear niche, no marketing, no documentation. All things we just told you about that you need to focus on. People trying to scale before stabilizing, not understanding local laws. These are things that you need to do before you get started.
Agreed. And one mistake, and this is my favorite one to know: think the government pays fast. It ain't gonna happen. If you want a DoD contract, be ready to wait about 30 to 90 days to invoices to come through and get cleared. It can take a while. On top of those, contracts could be at a place where you may or may not get it. And sometimes you have to have a partner to go get it. So ensure that you have that clear mindset that if you do want to work on the government side, that it could be a hit or miss situation. So having the civilian side of what you do is very important also.
Yeah, and here's another mistake people make, thinking that the first version of your business has to be perfect. It's not. It's meant to change. Vince and I have pivoted so many times that I've lost count, and that's okay. The
Yeah,
business you picture in your head at the start of this isn't the business you're actually building. Being open to that, letting it develop naturally instead of trying to force it into the box, makes the transition a whole lot less stressful. So, once you start getting consistent clients, reinvest your revenue. Your second drone should pay for itself. And here's the key: don't go into debt for gear if your current assets aren't covering your current expenses. Make the business pay its own bills before you start expanding anything.
agreed. And remember, every successful veteran owned business started some way. Ensure it doesn't overwhelm you and learn as you go. And just like them, they've grown and went and took those thousand no's before they finally got that one yes. So you can make it work for you. You just got to be persistent and disciplined to stay at it.
Yeah, so I mean, for you defense contractors out there listening, counter UAS is exploding. Training, detection, ISR support, Op4 simulation, veterans dominate in these areas. Let's get out there and do what we do. So, starting a drone business isn't for everyone, but it is doable. Veterans are made for this. We get structure, we understand safety, and we know how to stay on mission. So pick a space that fits your skills and go out there and get it.
Agreed. And know that it takes just to be able to get going and get it started, and you'll be fine. And use your resources, use your network, use the things that you've learned, especially if you're military, use your knowledge. You would be surprised how much of what you did in the military correlates to being a business owner out here, because it started us with being in control of what we needed to do and being confident in what you're doing. And reach out to us on LinkedIn, and we would love to help you out if we can possibly do anything to give you guidance in it going further forward.
Yeah, if you're thinking about starting, start. Do the research, make a checklist, take one step at a time. You can't build anything if you don't move first. You can't gain any momentum if you don't take that first step. Nothing changes until you move, even a little bit. So, thanks for listening, and we'll see you in our next episode. And remember to like and subscribe. We appreciate you guys.
Agreed. Thank you. We appreciate it, and talk to everyone later. Have a good one.